It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
The girl is bad.
All right, welcome to the KGB Live Show with your host, Brother KGB Gbaja-Biamila.
Glory. Wow, man! I tell you, live audience.
So live audience, we got a full house in the studio tonight. I wish we could pan, but well, you guys catching it all delayed. But anyway, Saints, we are back for another show. Episode number 39. You guys see the title of the show. I'm sure you guys have questions about it. We'll get to them soon. First off, let's just do a quick sound check before we go any further. If you guys can hear me well and hear Brother Kabir, you want to test your microphone?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Let us know how we're coming in. 8
check,
for great.
check.
And Brother Freddie, let us know, brother, how we're coming in. Coming in strong.
Hey, get this thing off the printer, Ryan, or somebody. Okay.
Eight.
Great sound. 8. A lot of 8s.
All right.
A lot of 8.
Glory to the King. Hallelujah.
Shake up the world.
Give me 1 second.
Hey, is anybody at the printer?
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, he's right now.
Okay, how am I going to start this thing out?
All right, so I'm going to go through a few announcements. As long as you guys can hear me well, we'll try to go through these pretty quick here. So last week on the Berean Moment, we had Mama Diane, or Sister Diane for some. We call her Mama Diane. Great show. Make sure you guys go and watch that if you missed it. I believe it would edify you. The title of that Berean Moment was Polygyny Exposes the Wickedness of a Woman, which I think you might find some correlations tonight with the topic of the show. Also, they had a sister to sister last week, covenant hierarchy, a wife's role in a covenant relationship. Make sure you guys go and listen to that if you have not. I believe it'll bless you. Also, Shabbat service with Pastor Dowell. The title of that Shabbat service was called Cleansed in Law. Great message. I've already heard it twice, and I should listen to it a third time. It was a beautiful, very edifying and rebuking message. And also, like Pastor Dow's homework for all was to watch Spiritual Combat's interview with Brother Gideon. Make sure you guys go watch that if you have not yet. We were fortunate enough to watch it right after Shabbat service and talk about it. So that was very good. Also, brother segment. There was no brother segment this past first day, and hopefully we can hear from one of our elders and deacons next week. So other than that, that's all I have for you, Saints, until towards the end here. But Brother Kabir, we are back for another show. This is episode number 39. We're getting close to the 40 mark, I guess, to the 50 mark. How you doing tonight, Brother Kabir?
I'm doing good, guys. This one I'm going to try to use this topic and break it up into pieces.
Okay, so this is we are going to do a series on this.
We are going to do a series on this one.
Hallelujah.
Because I've been going back to my videos, my YouTube videos, and I noticed that people are talking about this stuff, and it's what's going on. I mean, it's the topic. As you guys can see, the title of the
girl is dangerous.
The girl is dangerous.
She will lead you to hell.
The girl is dangerous. She will lead you to hell. But guys, I want to read a quote here. This is from a great artist.
Artist.
Yes, he's legendary.
Oh.
His name is Michael J. Jackson. Let me read something. This comes from one of the...
really J?
I think so. I don't know.
J. Jackson?
I think so. Yeah. I think Joseph.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it could be.
Because dad's
Yeah, but anyway, I could be wrong about that. But don't quote me on that. This is not about
it's not about Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. But I do want to use this quote here. And I've heard this song. You know, I used to be a big Michael Jackson fan before I came into the truth. So don't judge me. Is this all we have? I know there's more. Is that our print?
Backside to that.
That's all I came out.
Okay. Anyway, let me read this to you guys here. This is what it says here. It says, let me go to here again because I printed it up, but I'm gonna read it from here. It says I'm out of tuner. That's why. Okay. So here's Michael Jackson's Dangerous album. Here's what it says here. And it's talking about, he's talking about this woman, but it gets to the part he says that after he says a scene in there, he says the girl was persuasive. The girl I could not trust. The girl's bad. The girl's dangerous.
Preach.
Woo! Okay, but anyway, then it says, what he says here? He says, but there was part I wanted to really read here. He says, why can I not find this one part? Okay, there's another chorus. It says, she's so dangerous, right? The girl's so dangerous.
Okay.
Take away my money. Woo! Throw away my time.
Tell the truth.
Woo! 16 years, but I'm not going to go there. You can call me honey, right?
Every time.
But you're no damn good for me. Girl, so dangerous. Okay, that's it, guys. I mean, guys, I'm listening to this song like, dang. Michael was, he was literally warning about how girls are dangerous. So anyway, I just wanted to throw it in there because we had, guys, sometimes half the battle's coming up with a title. And so that's what I came up with because we couldn't think of anything better. But
okay.
Anyway, guys, here's what I wanted to talk about, guys. Like I said, I've been telling you guys about my life, right? I've been telling you about, it's like I'm going through, like me and Brother David was talking today, right? Sometimes I have these moments, right? What would you call these moments, Brother David?
Real moments.
Real moments.
Or call them,
human
moments.
Human moments. I am human. If you guys didn't know this, I am human. Where you have these moments, and one of the reasons why I wanted to share this with you guys, because a lot of the stuff that I'm experiencing, I can literally read the word of Yah and see that my life is matching. I have a greater depth of understanding and appreciation for people like the book of Job. When you look at the life of Job and what he went through, I mean, losing everything that you built, losing all your sons and daughters. It's one thing to read it, we hear it just gone. Hey, your family's gone. Literally, I can relate to Job. I know the emotional impact. I even know what life looks like after going through it. I know it's like to losing a mother. I know what it's like to experience death in your family of origin. I know what it's like to be divorced. I know what it's like to have to choose between right and wrong. I know it's like I know what it means when Yeshua says that to be my disciples, you have to hate your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children. Yes, even your own life. Like, I get it. And so I've been going around all week, or last week, or just the last 2 days, trying to call some people in the Christian world. So I have to vex my spirit so I can be inspired. That's not showing, right?
No.
Okay. And trying to find what was I taught about women in Christianity. And it kind of spurred on based off of what Pastor Dow kind of spurred this in me. He says that there is nothing in the Bible that warns. The Bible warns warns a man about a woman, but it doesn't warn a woman about a man. And so I didn't want to just, be one of those people that say, well, Pastor Dow says it must be true, don't look into it. I said, no, I'm going to go look into this stuff. I'm going to go look at the scripture, because he said there's hundreds. And he was right. There are hundreds of scriptures that talks about this stuff, but I could not find anything in the Bible that warned women about bad men, wicked men, seductive men, I can't, dogs. what's in the words? I couldn't find deadbeat. I couldn't find anything about, where, watch out for these men. These men, I couldn't find it. So I challenge you guys, if you can find it, please post it up on here. I'm talking about warning. I'm not talking about, obviously you have men do things, commit adultery. You have men do things. I'm talking about where the Bible literally are giving you instructions and giving you warning what to be careful about when you're dealing with the opposite sex. So I brought a gift here for you guys. This is a chess. I hope it's chess, right? And this is a chess game. Can you guys see that? Am I making too much noise?
No, you're good. I just wanted to get it out of the...
Some of you guys know about chess, right? So here is a chess game. We're gonna pull out. See, I had a choice between pulling out the black pieces or the white pieces. I'm gonna choose the black pieces. Okay, I don't know why. Or the brown pieces, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not black.
No, they're actually brown. So guys, you got different pieces. You have what they call a pond. You see that? That's a pond. That's what they call a pawn. You have about 8 of them, if I remember. Then you have something called a rook. You see that? That's a rook. See that? Or a castle. Some people call it a castle. And he moves totally different from a pawn. Then you have something called a bishop. This is what they call a bishop. You see that? Bishop. You guys probably say, what the heck is Kabir doing today? I mean, is he gonna literally? Here's what you call. This is what they call a knight. You guys see that? That's a knight. Are you showing all my slide already before it happens? Then you have what they call queen. Look at this. You see that? That's a queen. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't she cute? Look at that. All right. And then you only have one queen, and then all this. And then you have what they call the king. That's the king right there.
The whole game revolves around.
Right there. You see that? Now, this is clearly a patriarch game. This is not matriarch. This is a patriarch game, right? So, come and get this, Ryan. Come and take this and put this all together here. So, guys, here's instructions. I got instructions. I want to read something to you guys. This is the instructions on how to play chess. I'm not going to read everything to you, but every game has an objective to it, right? And I've never even read this. I'm about to read this for the first time. Oh, right here it says objection of the game. Look at that. Can you see that? Objection of the game. And here's the objection. Checkmate or capture the king. I showed you the king, right? That's the whole thing. And as you read all the stuff, they tell you how all the pieces move and things like that. But the whole object is to get the king. Once you get the king, you win the game. So the object is to make sure they don't take your king or checkmate your king. You want to make sure you checkmate your opponent's king. So that's the objective. Here's another piece here. So I want to show you this thing in the scripture here. Let me see if I can find it here as I'm talking to you guys here. Hold on here. The Bible talks about in the New Testament, I believe it's in the Gospel. Let me see if I can find this here, guys. This is live, so let me see if I can find. I can't. Oh, bound. Is it bound? Maybe bound up the strong man. You guys know what I'm talking about? Bind up the strong. Bind, not bound. Bind. And I'm having a hard time finding my.
Looks like it's Mark 3:17.
Mark 3:27. Mark 3. What?
Mark 3:27.
Mark, you guys need to help me out. You guys get Mark 3:27. All right. So let me read this to you guys. This is what Yeshua said right here, right? He says, how can Satan cast out Satan? He says, and if the kingdom, we're talking about chess, right? If a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but had an end. No man enter into a strong man's house and spoil his good. This is verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his good, except except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. So you can stop right there. So it's the same thing in chess. Once you get to that king, you pretty much win the game. It's the same thing that's going on in so many homes across America, where men are being bound up, and then from there the court system is able to go in there and just devour it all up. But one of the things that when Pastor Dow was talking about this instruction, about the Bible warning men about women, I was thinking to myself, but when I was in Christianity, and tell me if you guys can relate to this stuff, please comment below. Comment in the comment. But I remember in Christianity, I was in it for 17 years, and I remember it was always bashing the men. It felt like just bashing the men. It felt like the men always had to make the adjustments. The men, if the family wasn't right, it was the man's fault. And I get it from a leadership perspective, but it was always the men that always had to change. If you go into counseling, it was always the man that had to change. It was the man's fault. The whole church service, anytime they talk about it, everything revolved around the emotions and feelings of the woman. It was making sure you get babysitters, making sure you do date night, making sure you wash your wife's feet. All these different things to go on vacations. Things that kept on encouraging the man about the women. And this is what women were encouraged too, that this is what you should be looking for your man. If your man is not making sure you're happy, and pretty much, just to sum it up, because I had a hard time trying to figure, but sum it up, he's not doing a good job. Even to be a deacon or an elder or anything, leadership in the church, the leadership wanted to talk to the wife to make sure, is he a good husband? I guess if she gives value, if she's the deciding factor, if the guy is really worth anything, instead of the basics, is she eating, clothes, shelter, conjugal rights. So I'm looking at the statistics here, and listen to this. Do you know that in this country, do you know who are the most, who mostly initiate divorce in this country?
I do, but
Well, tell me. Say it. Women.
Okay.
Women initiate most of the divorce in this country. Now, this goes back to 2015. I can only imagine what it is. I think Brother David told me earlier. But this is an article that says women initiate divorce much more than the men. And here's why. 70% of all divorce are founded that women initiate nearly 70% of all divorces. Didn't you say it's more now, maybe?
According to a 2018 statistic, it's 75% now.
So 75% of all divorces are initiated by women. The divorce that I went through, it's proof. It'll be rare if I actually initiated the divorce through, and this is going through the judicial system. But they even talked about, let me read this. It says some new data about divorce and non-marital breakups contain an unexpected finding, and I think it underscores the fact that we are in the midst of an ongoing evolution, and that people want to seek in their romantic, listen to that, romantic relationship. The study is based on a survey over 2,000 heterosexual couples, found that women initiate nearly 70% of all divorces. Yet there is no significant difference between the percentage of breakups initiated by women and men in a non-marriage relationship. How to explain the data? I'm just going to read some of this, guys, here. I find that these data are consistent with what I and the others have seen clinically. This is based on clinical research. When men and women seek couple therapy, done that before, and the subsequent divorces, or when either party seek individual therapy about marriage conflict that ends in divorce, it's often that the women who express a more overt conflict and dissatisfaction about the state of the marriage. What do you think about that so far? It's the women.
Sounds right.
On the other hand, but does that sound like a Hebrew marriage?
It's wrong, but it sounds
right
according to this country.
Yeah. On the other hand, man is more likely to report feeling troubled by his wife's dissatisfaction. So listen to it. On the other hand, the man is more likely to report feeling troubled by his wife's dissatisfaction. So who's setting the tone here? In these type, the women are just setting the tone. But pretty much it's okay. But pretty much okay with what the way things are. He is content. Aren't we called to be content? If you have food, shelter, shouldn't you not be content? But not in Christianity and not in this world. But okay with the way things are, and he's content and just lopes along as time passes. In contrast, I find that younger. Okay, I'm just gonna stop there. But I just thought this was interesting how you can see that we are living in a matriarch society, meaning that the woman is the head of the family. She sets the tone. The man is basing off the marriage, if it's good or not, based off on how the woman feels.
The woman's happy.
If the woman is happy
wife,
then everything is good. If she's not happy, that's when trouble happens. You have 70% of marriages being initiated by women. So I went on and did my investigation research, and I had to call some pastors. I talked to some pastors. I talked to people who are Christian. I don't have a lot of people I talk to anymore. A lot of that got closed out, but they all did confirm that it is true that you have to worry about men, their lust problem, adultery, having affairs. I guess they call it. Do you remember? Can you go back into the good old days? I mean, I'm not saying good old days. I'm just.
The reason why? Or
yeah, I mean, just did you not remember men just being, a little bit more? It seemed like the men were the bad guys. It seemed like the women. I mean, you rarely heard women being corrected in marriage.
I remember growing up in. I don't say necessarily growing up, but recently, right before Christianity, listening to a man named Mark Gungor.
Okay, Mark Gungor. He's actually here. He's actually here locally.
He would say things like, and not only him, but I remember him pushing it a lot, making Mark Gungor, like a comedy out of it, but saying stuff like, "Men are stupid, so women, we need you."
Making comments. Or I even remember a time even hearing Mark Gungor when he said that if you need the light bulb changed, just kind of say, "Hey, if you change the light bulb, then I will give you a little bit of this, But if you don't, isn't that manipulation?
I think, something we talked about this morning also was like you brought it up. You said something about how they used to tell you or would say that teach women to make sure you praise them,
praise him, give them attaboys, encourage them.
Always the way that, and that's not wrong.
And these are marriage conference.
And that's not wrong for a woman to do that. To encourage a man because a wise woman builds up her house. But the way that I remember Christianity teaching is basically always do it with expecting something in return. Well, remember I encouraged you last time, so now you gotta do something for me. Or I remember I gave you a pat on the back, so now, or I overlooked something, so now you gotta overlook. Always with a trading intention, I guess, not necessarily.
And guys, this is not even in my own Christian walk here. Even before I became a Christian, I always thought that the men were the problem and women were the
angels.
They're like, if you were good, then you will have a good relationship. Or it just seemed like you're always dealing with the dogs. They call them. He's the dog. He's a thug, or I don't know all the terms. And so my first encounter that women were not as good as I thought they were is when it was probably back. I don't even know. I think it had to be when I moved into this home. I saw this movie called Mean Girl. Show the thing here. So there's this movie out there called Mean Girl, and there's a woman named Lindsay Lohan. We know her life is in Tina Fey, but this movie called Mean Girls was the first time that I encountered that there's a possibility that women can be wicked. Did you hear this? I mean, this is now. I'm a Christian by this time, and I'm watching this stuff. And I remember I'm watching the movie, and I told you guys I'm watching a movie like this. I'm like, this is how women think. And I remember looking to my wife at the time, and she says, "You didn't know this?" I'm like, "No." And I literally bought the movie, and I wanted to hold it into like a treasure because I wanted to teach my sons, like, guys, this is how women think. I mean, they were thinking of some mean stuff. Mean Girls, like I thought that's like it was rare. I know, guys. Please, guys, I tried. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was naive in a lot of things, but so I'm here saving and thinking, like, man, women, they literally invent evil. Like, I mean, they could smile in your face and then all of a sudden say mean things in your mind. It's like, wow. I mean, it's like after watching a movie, it makes you think like, man, can women, how do they love? I don't think they really can genuinely love like we love, because I don't think like this. I couldn't even conjure this all up. It was just mind blowing. Mm-hmm. But did you know that all of this stuff about how women are and the dangers of women are all in the Bible? It's all in the Bible. And if I was to go off of what Christian pastors, how they preach, you would think you will find more things about a man, a wicked man, warning women about wicked men. But it's actually the opposite. This is just blowing me away. And so I wanted to start off and read. Remember I told you guys the other day how my ex-wife, I mean, in 16 years, she could never be wrong. I mean, we can go to marriage counseling, and even if they were about to bring it, whoop, she was able to pass it off or whatever. But I found out that I was married to a woman who was an adulteress. She was an adulterous woman. Now people say, what do you mean? Like, I asked somebody, I said her name. I said, do you know that my ex-wife was an adulterous woman? He says, are you saying that she slept with another man? I said, no, I don't know that to be. I mean, it could have happened, but I have not. I don't perceive that's happened. You know, it could have happened, and I'm not saying one way or the other. But that's not what I was basing on. I started letting the Bible determine what that means. And so, if you turn with me, if you can go to Proverbs chapter 30. 30. Tell me when you get there. Proverbs chapter 30. We're going to go here to the east sword here, guys. We're going to go into the Word and let the Word do the talking. Yeah, you saw that movie. See, Sister Tawana, she saw that movie. Does show the wicked. I gotta watch it again because I want to watch it now with my new eyes. With the
you can watch that by yourself.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that by myself. I just want to go back. When you want to watch it with me, I said, man, see how a friend. Yeah, okay. I won't command you. I don't want to be like a tyrant.
I would be like
yeah. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
Movie. Please don't make me do this.
Yeah. Go to 30:20.
30:20.
So look what it says here in 30:20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and says, I've done no wickedness. It didn't say an adulterous woman is one that goes and lay with somebody. It just says one that eateth and wipeth her mouth and says, I've done no wickedness. I can't tell you how many times, it was always my fault. Always my fault. And this is something that I'm not the only one experienced, but many people experience the same thing. Many people in Christianity that was in that circle will say the same thing. Yep. And then I've seen that movie a lot of times. Yeah. Sister Bree says she's seen that movie a lot. But so many times, even guys, when the marriage breakup, they say, man, I was just a bad husband. I wasn't there for her. She needs her space. Or, I mean, you just hear all this stuff where the man takes on. I mean, if you look at, do you remember my letter that I wrote to my wife? Yeah. When my ex-wife, huh? Which one? The one that I apologized. I mean, I'm here like trying to conjure up.
Maybe you're right.
I'm sorry for what? I'm sorry for everything she said. I just was sorry for, even though I didn't think I did anything wrong. But I was just trying to save my marriage, and still wasn't good enough. You know, I mean, it's like, I guess you convinced me long enough that I must have done something wrong, because, or even when she left, you know what the question Christians would ask me? What was different? Then, Kabir, if you didn't do anything wrong, why did she leave? It was just assumed if a woman leaves, it must admit you did something wrong. You know what it sounds like? It'll be like if you got fired from your job.
Right.
If you get fired from your job, you think you got fired? I'm a good worker. I was a great worker. Then the question would be, why did he fire you?
Right.
Right? I mean, does that make sense? Like, obviously you must not have been a great worker if they fired you. That makes sense, right? I mean, the boss, a natural person who's the boss or the head of something is going to naturally keep their workers, right? Mm-hmm. So then when they tell a man, husband, wife, right, situation, he said, well, she left if she fired you as her husband or left you, you must have done something wrong. So that means you're basically saying she's the queen. She's the matriarch. Everything is revolved around her. If she left, I must have done something wrong. I must have not been living up to her standards or to her expectations. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? The question is, you should be asking the question, why are you not going after her? Because she's wicked. I'm not going to chase. You see, does that make sense? It's hidden matriarch. Go to 1 Corinthians 11. I want to show you something here. Does that make sense? Like, they're asking me as if my life, my value comes in what she says I'm doing or not. And the last time I checked, I thought the head of every man is Christ.
That's the last time I checked.
Let's see. Let's get right here. This is 1 Corinthians 11:2. Look what it says here, or verse 3. It says, but I will have you know, this is Paul, that the head of every man, does it say some man?
Every man.
Every man. Okay, let's see, is Christ and your wife. You see that in there?
No.
It just says, every man is Christ. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of Christ is God. Yeah. You see that? So clearly, why would it matter? Like, if this would be a perfect example. Let's say I go to hell. Man, I was a saint. I was an amazing saint. Well, then why are you in hell? You see, that makes sense, right? Because the person who determines if you go to heaven or hell is Yeshua, right? I mean, so like, it was like, I don't know why I'm in hell. I don't know what Jesus was thinking of. You know, man, they got some crazy people up there judging up there. I don't know what they're doing because I was a good saint.
Somebody says you were put on waivers by Green Bay Eileen.
Yeah, exactly.
Green Bay Eileen.
So you can see already, guys. I'm hoping that if you came from Christianity, you can relate to what I'm saying, and maybe a Christian may be listening. I know that I got some new subscribers. I just want to just show you how it's backwards, but you have it right there in the Word where it clearly says that the head of every man is Yeshua HaMashiach. Jesus the Christ. I want to throw you up. And the head of the woman is the man. All right. So this is stuff I'm just looking into about how we were taught in movies like what's some of the movies? I don't say Pretty Woman. What's some of the movies that kind of taught us? Like we were talking about some of these satanic Disney movies. You know, Snow White.
Cinderella.
Freddie, what was Freddie saying? Freddie was saying something about how the women are always the hero, you know. And then you got these simp men. They always need to be rescued by the woman at the end of the day, you know. I mean, everything revolves around the woman, and it not only was in the culture, but it's also in Christianity, because in Christianity everything revolves around the woman. And so when you now start speaking like a man, talking like a man, acting like a man, expecting things like a man.
There's Josh on the chat, by the way.
Yeah, King is kicking ass again. Yeah.
I forgot to give him a shout out.
Hey, I forgot to give my boy Josh. I gotta give him a shout out. I was supposed to tell him what is he having for dessert. So anyway, so Josh, I got you back. So next time I'll get you, Josh. But anyway, back on topic here. So let me go to my first reading here, guys. I'm gonna go to Proverbs 5, and I'm gonna show you just like I was able to show you instructions for how to play chess. Here is the instruction for man. Here's the instructions on how to win in this world. This is the instructions on how to make it to the kingdom of Yah. Before you let me read this one scripture here. 1 Timothy. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 12. Chapter 3 verse 12. Can you give me those chess instructions? So guys, the same way is not where's the instructions? So look at this. So just like we have instructions on how to play chess, right? We also have instructions on life. Let's read. Go to 16, verse 16. It says this: all scripture is given. It says all scripture is given by the inspiration of God. And it's profitable. See, look, it says instructions, right? Let me go. It says inspiration of God, and it's profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction. What is? All scriptures. All scriptures is inspiration of God, and it's profitable for doctrine, and for reproof, and for correction, and instructions What does it say in there? Instructions. In what? In righteousness. You guys see that? Verse 17. Go to verse 17. Can you guys see 17?
17, yeah, they can see it. It's just all the way up.
Okay, verse 17 says, that the man of God may be perfect and thoroughly furnished unto all good works. So literally we have instructions on, we know the objective of the game. The game is not a game, but the objective of life is to what Solomon says is to fear Yah and keep his commandment. That's it. That's the whole objective. Fear Yah and keep his commandment. That is the whole duty of man. You're going to have things being thrown at you. You're going to have different dynamics. You're going to be in different roles. But the whole goal is to fear Yah and keep his commandments. That's the whole duty. Just like a chess. Look, I mean, we get it in the natural. How come we can't get it in the spiritual, right? So let me go to Proverbs chapter 5 here. Let me read this. And I can go here, right? I can change this. Okay, good. Ooh, guys, I got control here. This is kind of cool. So anyway, let me read this here. It says, my son, this is, and listen to this, guys. This is a woman giving instructions or warning to her son. My son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thy ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman. I was looking up that whole strange woman. It pretty much, if a woman is not keeping the commandments of Yah, if she's not keeping the commandments of Yah, she's a strange woman. If she's not a saint, she's a strange woman. It's not, even if she's a blood, what you call it, a natural born Israelite. If she is not keeping the commandments of Yah, she's a strange woman. If she's being rebellious, she's a strange woman. A strange woman is anyone that's not in her place, and she's, back talking, being contentious. That is a strange woman. She's foreign. She becomes foreign. Look at to prove to you guys I'm not making this thing up. Look at this. My ex-wife of 16 years. There was a time that we knew each other. Now she's my estranged. Wow. Isn't that crazy? She's my estranged wife. Or ex-wife. My sons and daughter, they've been estranged. Did you know that? I'm like, look at what do you think about that, Brother Jordan? Is that pretty?
That's interesting. I've never heard about that before.
Estranged. She's estranged. What's that word? Look up the word estranged. Look at the etymology on that one.
It says no longer close or affectionate to someone.
No longer close or affectionate to someone. Alienated. I was alienated from my sons and daughters. She took them away from me. And kept them away from me for over 40 days. It didn't take that long to be alienated from them. Seeing them every day, it took like 40 days, and I was alienated, estranged. So now the relationship I have is strange. So this is a strange woman. So keep going. Let's keep going here. So for the lips of a strange woman, for lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as warm wood, like gangrene, sharp as a two-edged sword. So when you're dealing with these women, they speak kind words. They tell you what you want to hear. Hey, they tell you're my husband. Hey, whatever nicknames they call you, boo or Bubba, whatever. I don't even know. But they call you all still. They say that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Why do you say you love me? You don't even do what I say. Does not Yeshua says in John 14:15, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments? But these are the stuff that they'll say. But let's keep reading. This is warning a man about a woman. Let's keep it. And the mother's telling us. Her feet goes down to death. And her steps takes hold on hell. You guys thought we just put that in the title. It says it right there. Her steps takes hold on hell. Guys, I'm telling you, when a woman leaves a man, I was going to put this movie up here that I was going to find. There was a guy that got divorce paper. He had all these thoughts about taking his life. He was thinking about losing his job. He was thinking all this. I mean, the power. The power that these women, when you give them your strength, the thing that they do with your strength, they will take you to a loaf of bread. But let me keep reading. Her feet will go down to her feet goes down to death. Her steps takes a hold on hell. Takes hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable. She's not stable. It's movable. Her emotions are up and down. That thou canst not know them. How many times people say, I don't know what to do, make her. One minute I took her on date night, and then I get through her 40th birthday. I'm doing. It's unstable. Women are unstable. They're highly emotional, double-minded. That's why they need to have an authority over them. That's why they need to have a man who's steady. You know what he says that most men are content. They just keep going along. They don't change because all of a sudden the wind blew a certain way. Do you see that? So that's why we men were created to just keep plowing and keep moving steady. And when the woman wants to get all emotional, hey, follow my lead. Just follow my lead. I know. You got to be able to just get. But let me keep going. Movable. It says, "Hear me now, therefore, O ye children. And depart not from the words of my mouth, and remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give your honor unto others, and thy years unto cruel. Did you know that my honor was given to others? Everything that I've worked for now has been given to another. My inheritance, my sons, my daughters has now been given to another people. Doesn't it mention that in the curse in Deuteronomy 28 that you have sons and daughter, but they'll be taken by another people? I mean, literally, this is what a woman do. They literally will just wreck up the whole thing and not even think twice about this stuff. I wish somebody in Christianity would have warned me about a wicked woman. But they didn't. If anything, they told me I was the problem. I needed to be right. But let me keep going. It says, "Hear me now, therefore, O children. Depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thy honor unto others, and thy years unto cruel." How many of these men end up being sick, having disease, cancer, colon cancer, Parkinson's disease, all types of disease because of a contentious woman? Literally will rot in the bone. I'm going to show you some scripture. They will literally give you cancer. That's the type of things that these women can do to you when you give your heart to them. I'm talking from his personal experience. Now, I didn't catch any disease yet. Thank God for that he spared me from that. Lest a stranger be filled with thy wealth. Listen to this. Strangers be filled with thy wealth. How many of the churches came and helped my ex-wife because of the money? They knew that, okay, he's leaving. Well, let's break up the home so we can keep the other half. Guys, lest thy strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy laborers be in the house of thy stranger. Now I got other people now pouring into my sons and daughter, or lack of. They're literally just among wolves now. There's nothing I can do about it right now. I'm just things I'm trying to do, but for the most part, there's not much I can do because I was with an adulterous woman, a wicked woman. This is not, I was telling the guy, I'm not being mean when I say I was with a wicked woman. I was with a wicked woman. Where do we find out what wicked means? Not what? Tell me. Dysfunctional. Guess what? I'm still functioning, still moving ahead. She's no longer a help meet. She's become a hinder meet. She's becoming a hindrance. She's supposed to be a help meet, but she's hindering. Let me keep going. It says, so your wealth and thy labors will be in the house of a stranger. So all my labor, all my wealth is now with strangers. And thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. Look at this, being consumed again. You're being consumed. And say, how have I hated instructions, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ears to them that instruct me. And I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink water out of thy own sinisters, and running waters out of thy own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thy own, and not strangers with thee. And let not thy fountains be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Well, I can't do that. Let her breast, I think that's what it means to say, let her be as the loving, oh, I meant to just throw that in there. Sorry, guys. Let her be as the loving hen and the pleasant roe, and let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange, this is about a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he ponders all his going. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sin. And he shall die without instructions, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. See, guys, we have a great shepherd in Pastor Dow teaching us. Pastor Dow is the first pastor I ever seen that just laid it. I'm like, man, he's hard on women. But guess what? Just read the word. It's all right there. It's not that he hates women. It's just that women are wicked.
He's hard on the men.
Yeah, he's hard on the men. He's hard on the men. But you know what? But when you come from Christianity where they don't even tell you anything about a woman, no warning, you would think that Pastor Dow has just lost his knockers or something. Because how hard he is, like, Pastor, you being unreasonable. There's no pastor. That's why you know sometimes when pastors say, do I have to be the only one to have to mention this? Yeah, because he speaks the truth. He speaks the word. And so that's why it sounds, when pastor speaks, it sounds strange to people. Maybe even when I'm speaking, it sounds strange because you're not reading the word, or you don't have a pastor really teaching you the truth. That's why I was blown away how many scriptures I saw warning men about a wicked woman. Let me go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. No. Ecclesiastes. Yeah, the regular. Chapter 7, verse 24, I believe. I want to show you guys something here, because this is exactly what I really believe, that the word of Yah saved my life. Is it actually Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 7. Chapter 7. I want to show you guys something. So when I was going through my situation, this is how keeping the commandments. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, go there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can go right there. But I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip here. I want to read something to you guys here. So look into this. It says,
what verse? You're going the wrong way.
I know. Okay. I'm doing it on purpose. Hold on, guys. I'm here. I want to look at something here. Is it? I think it was.
What are you trying? What's the keyword?
Huh? Oh. Go to Ecclesiastes. Go to that one. Let me see. Let's go to 21. I'm trying to. Did I write it down? Please tell me I wrote it. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26. Sorry, guys. It's Ecclesiastes right here. And fix the other slide for me. So, guys, listen to this. I'm going to read something to you, and I can't see it because my face is in the way. Oh. Okay, right there. One second. Okay, guys, listen to this. So, I'm thinking about, let me read this to you. It says right here. He says, and Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26 says, and I find more bitter than death the woman. And I experienced death. I experienced the wickedness of a woman. And I can tell you the wickedness of a woman is worse than the experienced death in the family. Whose heart is snare and nets. They have traps for you. Traps. And her hands as a bands. Whoso pleases God shall escape her. Do you see that? Whoso pleases God shall escape her. How do you please God? How do you please God? Obedience. When you keep Yah's commandment, when you follow these instructions, that's the name of the game. The whole duty of man is to fear Yah and keep his commandments. When you fear Yah and keep his commandments, guess what? You shall escape from her. What's a sinner? What's sin? One who transgressed the what? The law of Yah. And look what it says. But the sinner shall be taken by her. You see, I was in a situation, people, 2 years ago. I had a choice. I can either obey Yah or continue in my sin. If I kept the commandments of Yah, man, I was going to lose my wife. I was going to lose my sons and daughters. I was going to lose my reputation. I was going to lose a lot. That's why Jesus says to be my disciple, you have to be willing to lose you have to weigh the cost. You have to hate your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children, your life. You have to hate those things to save your life. To save your life is to lose your life, and to lose your life is to save your life. This is what the word is saying. But if I kept my sin, I would have kept the woman. I would have kept my sons and daughter. But guess what? What did it say in there? It says that I'll be taken by her. What it says, I'll be taken, the sinner shall be taken by her. Obviously, I wasn't taken by her because I chose to please Yah. And because I pleased Yah, it actually saved me. So the fact that I was willing to please Yah, Jesus says, if you love me, you keep my commandments. And John 15, if you look at John 15, he says to abide in my love, keep my commandments, as I have abided in my Father's love and kept his commandments. So when I abide in his love, and what did Yeshua say about, what did Yah say about Yeshua? He says, who I'm well pleased. Why was he well pleased in Yeshua HaMashiach? Because he kept his commandments. He was without sin. And so when I chose the route of pleasing Yah, I was able to escape from the wrath and the wickedness of a woman. But if I chose to keep sinning and keep trying to make the woman happy and be about her, I would have been taken by her, probably died of some type of disease. That's what I believe a lot of the disease is coming from a wicked woman, dealing with a contentious, wicked woman. And I'm going to show you guys, that's why I'm going to take maybe 2 or 3 weeks to break this down, because I'm going to go through this really slow because I don't think people hear it enough. So, and so men, this is warning to you, and women, this is also a warning for you what not to be. If you're doing these things, repent, change your wicked ways. And men, if you see your woman doing this stuff, call her out on it. Don't allow her to suffer in her sin, because I was scared because I was afraid of how she was going to act. Tell her the truth. Love your wife and water her the word and rebuke her. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So let me keep on going to, let me go to Proverbs 7. Here go Proverbs 7. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Is this making sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. It says, my son, keep my words. Here's another Proverbs. Proverbs, it says, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments. Look, it's all about, take warning. This is the warning. Take warning with thee. Keep my commandments and live, not die, and live. And my law as the apple of thy eye. Bind them upon thy finger and write them upon the tables of thy heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister. Call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman. We already broke down what strange woman. From the stranger which flattereth with her words. Hey, muscle guy, cutie. I don't know what the heck they say, but they say flattering things that makes say, hey, big fella. You know, they sit there, they dress to seduce you, all these different things. Look at this.
Hey, big fella.
For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, meaning a window. He's looking through a window and beheld among a simple one. That's why pastor will call a man a simp. He's simp. He's foolish. He doesn't know better. Look among the simple ones. I discern among the youths. Look at you. This is talking to you young men. Young men, void of understanding. That's why it's better for us to to be able to sit at the feet of the elders and listen to them and learn from those who's gone before you. It's not that they're smarter than you. They are smarter, but it's because they're more experienced. They lived. They've been out further. Listen to them. You think that you're young, you know what you're talking about. Listen. Young man, void understanding, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black, in the dark night. How many of you men, instead of you guys going through the right protocol, talking to the leadership and say, hey, I'm interested in the sister, instead you go to her directly, try to get her number and say, okay, are we good? Okay, I'm going to go in there. But you see that? You're going around about and you're being foolish and all those stuff. It never works out. Never works out. It ends up being disastrous. That's why pastor said, hey, if you want, you have the right. You can do whatever you want, but don't come to him to clean it up. Don't come to us. passing through the street near her corner. And he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and the dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot. So when these women wearing clothes to seduce you, this is exactly what. And the subtle heart. I can't tell. I want to tell how I was attracted to my ex. I mean, she was dressed, with not much, running. I'm chasing her. Like, wow, she looks good. See, don't make those type of decisions based off of that. You base a woman's, you base a virtuous woman based on how well she obeys you, not how good she looks. And a lot of times it's the pretty ones that's the dangerous one. That's the one Michael Jackson was talking about. That girl, he was talking about her lines, her curves. Bro, I'm telling you, it's the pretty ones. Now, I'm not saying, Maisha is pretty. You can be pretty, but I'm just telling you, don't let that be the way you judge a woman. A woman's pretty is not her virtue.
Beauty is vain.
Beauty is vain. Okay? See, Mother Kara is a beautiful woman, but it's because she's submitted to her master, to her husband.
But her spirit is even more beautiful.
Her spirit is more beautiful. That's why she's so beautiful, because of how she's filled with the Ruach HaKodesh.
Hallelujah.
Okay, passing through the street corner. I know. And in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and the dark night, look in the night. And behold, there met him a woman with an attire of a harlot, and subtle is of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Listen to this. Loud. All you loud-mouthed women, you see this? And stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now she is without. Now in the streets, lying in wait at every corner. She caught him and kissed him, and with an imputed face said unto him, let's see what she said unto him. I have peace offering with me this day. I have paid my vows. Therefore came forth to meet you diligently to seek thy face, and I have found you. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed. Look at all that smell good, all this different thing. Look at perfume my bed with myrrh, or aloes, cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning, and let us so lace ourselves with love. Women talk about all this romantic stuff. When I looked up, the 70% is all about romantic stuff. Mm-hmm. For the good man is not at home. Now, this is a woman that's just straight out having an affair. He is gone on a long journey. He had taken a bag of money with him, meaning he didn't leave any shit with her, and will come home at the day appointed. With her much fair speech. See, women can talk, man. Their words, their lips are like smoother than butter. She causes him to yield. See, look at this. What gets a man with flattering of her lips. Look, it keeps talking about. I'm looking at the different. Like, these are the stuff that will entice a man. Her lips. She forced him, not with her strength, with her lips. She forced him. He go after her strange ways, and as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool or a simp to the correction of the stock, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasten to the snare. Then they talk about the woman being a snare, her heart snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Listen up. Let not thy heart decline to her ways. Happy wife, happy life. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what Christianity teach? To incline your it says let not your heart decline to her ways. They actually tell you you should be emotionally connected to your woman. Go not astray in her path, for she had cast down many wounded. We have Samson, John the Baptist. How many of these great men got taken out because of a woman? Solomon, one of the wisest men, got taken out by women. For she had cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell. You guys think I was making this thing up? Going down to the chambers of death. My son, keep my words and let. Okay. So guys, it's right there. And guys, I'm just starting off here.
It was getting good. You want to keep going?
Man, I wanted to keep reading here.
Right.
So guys, this is in Christianity. They don't warn you about a wicked woman, but they warn a woman about supposedly a dog. What's some of the stuff that they warn me? I'm really having a hard time because it doesn't even make sense.
Women, what about a man?
About a man.
He's a dog. He's stupid. He needs you.
Matter of fact, I'm going to show you this video. Can you show this video? We're going to take a break, but I want you guys to watch this video.
You want me to play it off?
Yeah, play it off. Yeah, I want you to watch this 4-minute video of a typical Christian. You can't play that one?
Can't play it,
You can't play it. Why you can't play it?
Because I have to figure out the audio.
You can't mute.
I can mute it, but I tried it early and it didn't work. So
Okay, that's
maybe we'll save it because it's a series. So
okay.
We'll save it for next week.
We'll save it for later when we get to technology. But I wanted to show you this video, guys. We're trying to try all these different things on these videos. So, guys, I want to go back to. Can you go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 7:26? Let me read it from here.
7:26.
7:26. I want to read this one more time. I just thought it was so beautiful. I need to highlight this in my Bible. It says this right here. It says, "And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snare." Didn't we just talk about snare? "And nets, bands, who pleases God shall escape her." So when you please God, you will escape the wicked woman, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Guys, literally, that is my life. That is exactly what happened. I can't tell you how many people was trying to get me to go back to the woman. They say, "Man, how much are you willing to get? How much you willing to? What are you willing to do to get your family back?" They literally were asking me to sin to go back to her. So, guys, I'm telling you, I'm in this situation right now. Let me see if I can find it here. Who did I send this to? Let me see if I can find this stuff. Go to Proverbs. I think it's in Proverbs. Let me see if I can find it here. Like, I have the luxury of saying that I've been with 2 women, or at least I have 2 women here, and let me see if I can find this here. Hold on here. I think it's in Proverbs. Why can I not find it? Do we not have Wi-Fi? Why am I not having
I don't know. My Wi-Fi's fine.
Is everybody Wi-Fi working? How come I can't find my... Oh, right here. I found it. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 4. Go here. I'm going to read something to you guys. So listen to this. I was talking to Bree while he's looking. I was talking to Bree. I said, "Bree, let me ask you something." I was actually talking to a guy. He was here working at the house. I said, "Let me ask you something." I said, I want you to go home and I want you to tell your woman, his wife. I said, "I want you to go tell your wife that somebody told you. You can tell her my name. Says that, man, that your wife is married to a simp." That's what I told him. I said, "I bet you your woman's not going to be too happy to hear that she's married to a simp." That's actually an embarrassment to a woman. What do you think? You think most women will be happy to know that their husband's a simp? Dang.
I mean, it depends on what their agenda is.
Even a wicked woman?
She can control a simp.
Because even Ahab Ahab didn't look like a simp. But behind closed doors, she wanted. But for somebody to call you and say, "Man, your woman has a simp for a husband."
She's allowed to call him a simp.
Exactly. Somebody said that. Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying this.
Yeah, but she's allowed to call him a simp, but no one else. It'll be like, "Hey, I can make fun of you, but no one else can make fun of you."
Didn't you have situations where wives will overtly in front of their husbands?
Yes,
he's an idiot.
He's an idiot. This is guys. So, but then I said, but then he was asking me like, "But how come your wife submits to you? She calls you master. She's willing." I said, "Now let me ask you this. Now, if somebody told me, hey, your husband is very controlling. He controls everything about you. He rules over you. To her, that's strength to her. That's like, yeah, I marry a strong man. I marry a real man. Because to her husband being married to a simp is an embarrassment to her." But let me read something to you here. Where does it say right here in verse 4? It says, "A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones." I even found a different version that says this: "A wife is the strength of of character in the crown of her husband, but the wife who disgraces him is like bone cancer. Man, I'm telling you guys, the stuff that I was reading about these women are just, I mean, it's just off the chain. How wicked these women can be. Let me read another. Let me see. I'm not going to read through all of them, but I have some verses here, guys, but I want this discussion. Guys, so tell me if you guys have anybody found anything that's warning a man, warning a woman about a man. Has anybody find this? I'm going to go through this one, and then I'm going to, so this one's just going to show what the Bible says. Have you guys seen any comments? Have anybody find anything yet?
No.
I think we'll be waiting all night.
Huh?
I think we'll be waiting
Okay.
all 2020.
Okay, let me show you guys here. Hold on. Okay, let me read this. So Proverbs 21:19. Go to Proverbs 21:19. I'll read this.
29.
Yes. I want to read my verse. You go to 21:19. Are you guys all good? I know this is vexing, but this is good stuff so you can see it. Proverbs 21:19 says, "It is better." Listen to this. And guys, I have a big house, so I can understand it. But it says, "It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman." That is a true statement. I'm not making this up. You can't. I mean, this is the word of God. This has been written thousands of years. I'm like, how did you guys know about this stuff? It said it is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. So when everybody was telling me to go back after my ex, guess what? I'd rather be in this house all by myself, even though it was depressing, because that was better than to go back to a contentious and angry woman. What do you think?
I agree.
You prefer to be with a contentious and angry woman, or you choose the wilderness?
I'll choose the wilderness.
And I've even heard people even say worse. Go to let me see if I can go to Proverbs 21:9. Scroll up to 21:9. Let's see what it says up there.
Verse 9 or
verse 9. Scroll up.
Oh, verse 9. Okay.
Verse 9 says, "It is better." Now I can relate to this stuff. It says, "It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." We got the court system trying to get people to submit to this woman. Everything is revolved around the woman. You got Christianity doing the same thing. Everything revolved around the woman. And literally you have the word of Yah literally telling you that a wicked woman would literally destroy you, kill you, give you cancer, rotten your bones. This is why this thing is so backward. Our society's matriarch, Christianity's matriarch. And the Bible wasn't even written to women. It was written to men because they were the patriarch. They were the priests of the home. Keep on going. Let me pick one more here. I mean, you can go on for days. Go to Proverbs 27, verse 15 to 16. You got it? Mm-hmm. It says, whosoever, it says a continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Guys, I mean, you can go. I'm not going to go through all this, but as you guys go through scripture, you're going to see all this stuff. You got, and I wish I would have made a slideshow. It says, my favorite one here. I just got 4 more here. Go to Proverbs 25:24. No, we already did that one. We already did that one. Go to Proverbs 14:1. Let's see what it says here. So, Kabir, you messed up your house. You tore down your house. Did I? Let's see what the word says right here. It says every wise woman. So when I say, if I say, I had a saying on one of my videos that said my wife is a fool. People say, Kabir, like you're really hurt, Kabir. You're bitter. I had a guy come in here and say, well, I can't say that about your ex-wife because I don't know the whole story. Okay, my ex-wife is a fool. Let's see where I came from. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. So you see why I call her a fool? Mm-hmm. Am I just making this thing up?
Nope.
Are we not trying to follow the word? This is what the Bible says. It says every, not some, every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with his hands. Does it say his hands?
Nope.
It says whose hands?
Her hands.
Her hands. So I didn't pluck it down. So why am I being blamed for why my family got broken up? It clearly says it right here. A fool plucked it down. And it happens to be a her and not a him.
It just so happens to be.
I guess I can't make this thing up. So when I say fool, I know you guys think like, Kabir, you must be bitter. I know it hurt. Guys, it's been 2 years. And I've been in and out of court. Man, I'm so ready to move on. The only reason why I'm back in court because I have a wicked woman that wants to see me destroyed. She's the one that's coming after small in comparison to pennies compared to what she has. Why? What do you need with that? You don't need it anymore. You're set for life. She is set for the rest of her life if she handles her money right. Now, if she spends it all, and she can, there's people who have had hundreds of millions of dollars and went through it within 4 years. Within 4 years. And then granddaughter committed suicide. This is a person who won the lottery. If I had over $100 million, man, I would be set for a... Man, I can... Don't tell me what I would do. Anyway, here's another one.
Double it.
I would double that. Yeah, exactly. I would go invest there and double it. Go to here's another one. Go to Proverbs 11:22. And I'm gonna take a break here and even for questions. You guys challenge me, guys, please. If I'm wrong, please. Yep, the Catholic Church heard. You're right. You're 11:22. Look what it says. It says as a jewel of gold in a swine snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. Go to a different version. Can you pull up a different version?
I don't have one downloaded.
No. Oh, you don't have it?
I don't have one downloaded.
Okay, let me read this version. It says, here's a different version. It says, a beautiful woman. Remember? A beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. So that's what I'm saying. That if you just base everything on a woman based off of her beauty, you're making a big mistake. Big mistake. You better know that if she has the ability, is she going to be contentious? Is she going to? You want to know if she's going to be obedient, shamefaced, reverence you, damn near worship the ground you walk on. But if you start having these rebellious women, it's like putting a gold ring. No matter how nice that gold ring is, and you put it in the pig's snout, it's like it's like, what's the point of that? Taking something that valuable, putting it in something unclean like that. That's what a beautiful woman without discretion looks like. A woman that goes around busybody, going around talking to everybody. So anyway, yeah, don't run after her beauty. That is for sure. I think that's all I really have because I want to save the rest for later because I want to kind of open this discussion. So guys, do you think I'm being too hard on the women? Do you think that women are angels? They're not the mean girls that we see in the movies? Talk to me. Let me see something. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to save this for next time. But, because I want to talk about some great men, and I really want to break those scriptures down. We're good. So, do we got any questions there?
You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. And KGB, there's a narcissist man out there, so beware. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, and you can leave it on that mean girl maybe while we're taking a break here, and I'll go use the rest. You guys see any questions in there or no? I may read some more of this stuff because I may want to use the apocrypha.
I mean, there are a couple of people in the chat that are kind of like this guy Vegan Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we already live.
What do you say?
What I said was already.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. So, do you have any questions? You guys need to help me to find questions because I'm limited to what he shows me.
I can't scroll on this screen.
You guys have anything, Fred? So, guys, let me. So, guys, one of the reasons why I want to do this stuff is because I just wanted to go back. Because I like I said, I think about my situation. If I knew what I read today, or what I've been reading all week, studying this stuff, it would have saved me. I mean, it would have saved me from so much. I wouldn't have lost all my sons and daughter. I wouldn't lose all that I've lost, guys, if I would just knew about this stuff. I mean, and you hear it all the time in Christianity. We're so numb. We're so numb. Oh yeah, she's always right. Right there, that should tell you you're married to an adulterous woman. That is an adulterous spirit. She has the spirit of adultery on her, and so. But in Christianity, we are so blinded by how somebody looks. A lot of these pastors are effeminate themselves. Their women are controlling them from behind the scenes. So even though you see a male pastor, they're really being controlled. The message is being controlled by the woman. That's why women. Matter of fact, it was so interesting today. I was driving to Milwaukee. I dropped off Maya, and you know what's so interesting? I said, let me just. I got to get some inspiration. So I start playing Family Talk, and it was about relationships. You know how many people were calling in on the show about relational issues? Like how many? Like just guess. Do you think it was men calling in on the show, or you think it were women? There are women. 90% of the people that were calling on the show were women. And you know what I was asking myself? I was thinking to myself, I said, I wonder how many of these women got permission to call. You know, I mean, how many of the women got permission to call? Because when you really think about some of these shows that these women are calling in, asking questions about their husbands or basically telling things about their husband, like it's shameful. It is actually literally shameful for a woman to be asking anybody question without clearing it with her husband. Let me show you something. If you go to 1 Corinthians, if I go to 1 Corinthians 14, I believe it's 14. 1 Corinthians 14:33. Can you have that or no? I can read it. But I'm going to read here. It says right here. It says listen to this. It says, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Listen to this, confusion. So when you have these women calling these Christian marriage counseling shows, it's confused. It's confusing. It's shameful. But come here. Why are you saying that, man? You're being mean. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded. What does that word say? Commanded. They are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn some things, is that what it says in there? Some things? It says anything. Let them ask their pastor. Does it say that? What's in there? It says ask their pastor? Let them go ask their friend. Let them go ask their girlfriend. What does it say in there?
Their husband.
It says, let them ask their husband at home. Don't be asking them in front of your friend. Oh yeah, by the way, can you tell me if men and women are really equal? Yeah, and try to triangulate. It says go home and you ask your husband. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. You know how Christianity will doctrine that up? Well, it's talked about in church, like at the church service. So you can ask questions outside in the parking lot. You can ask questions at the restaurant. You can even ask questions at the Christian school, because this is a school. This is not the church. No, I thought the church. Who's the assembly? Aren't we the? We're the church. right? It says, you don't be asking questions like this among the saints. You go home and you ask your what? Your husband at home. Guys, these are some infractions. Like we were watching the Super Bowl, right? When you get penalties, infractions, right? These are some of the infractions that literally happened to me in my own marriage. The downfall of the breakup of my family. I had a woman going around asking people questions about head covering, asking questions about the Sabbath. So by the time I got to them, they already knew what I was going to talk about, because I had my ex-wife going around all over Wisconsin, literally calling people, talking to people, trying to sway me from the directions I was leading my home. So guys, I'm not speaking like this is these words, but this is true warning. These are true stuff. When a woman if you have a woman going around asking questions about things that she wants to learn, and she's not asking you, and she's going outside and talking about, I don't care if it's about gardening. I don't care if it's about whatever it is, she should get your permission as the man. Women, you need to go to your husband. You get permission. Now, if my woman wants to talk to the pastor, she needs to ask me. It's okay, you can go talk to the pastor. But then they'll go around and try to talk to the pastor and try to tell the story in such a way where they can slant it. I remember when I first came to Straightway, I was so blown away how Pastor Dow runs things here. He says he will never just take a testimony woman. He will have that woman give the testimony in front of the husband. Now say what you got to say. You're not going to sit here and say he says, she says, and then they come and talk to the man and start having a conversation with him about something that his wife says, but it wasn't in front of him. This is how the world works. That's why we need to come out of her, my people. So, guys, these women will cause a lot of damage. I've experienced it. I was able to amount millions of dollars based off of my hard work, based off of my wisdom on how to handle money. I was able to bring in a lot of sons and daughter, but mostly sons, and all of that got destroyed by one woman. False accusation, false witness. She went around. But can you imagine if we would have kept the law of Yah? If people actually live according to the word of Yah, my family will still be together probably. Maybe not, I don't know. At least she'll been challenged to reconsider what she's doing. But instead, she got actually counseled to break up the home by pastors. It wasn't some mediocre. She actually got a pastor gave her $5,000. Another pastor hid her in her house for 40 days and knew of it, never told me, and was on the phone, never told me where my family was at. I mean, these are real stories. And I tell you guys this stuff, that the word is true. I testify right now that the word is true. Beware of the type of women you marry. If you guys, why do you think I'm a man that I can get any woman I want probably? I haven't tried it, but I'm assuming I could get any woman. I got the money. I'm pretty good looking. I'm not, I'm healthy. I'm not, overweight. I can get any woman I want in America. Maybe even outside of America I can get. Especially when you got money, because that's all that really matters. If you got the means to take care of them, most women are attracted. They don't even care how you look. You could be as fat as Notorious B.I.G. and ugly, but ugly. As long as you got some money, you can draw them in. And guess what I did? I said, you know something, I'm going to be wise. I'm going to limit my choices to Straightway. That's what I did. And I'm like, dang, that's tough. I said, I'm going to limit it down. And because I just want a righteous woman. I don't want to deal with a wicked woman. Matter of fact, it took me a while. I think when my ex-wife left, I think it took me maybe a good year or two when I would go to the gym. Sometimes I'll go to Planet Fitness. I see these women all dressing, like a harlot, showing some, very revealing clothing. And I literally was sick to my stomach. I was allergic to beautiful women. I think I still am. Now I've learned to decipher but it's like, if they look, I'm like, dangerous. That's the song kept dangerous. The girl's dangerous. The girl's bad. That's what kept popping up in my head. And I hope that happens to you guys too. Don't let learn from my mistake. I like to learn from other people's mistake. Learn from my mistake. If you have not made that mistake, learn. And if you have women, identify the stuff. And one of the things I'm going to start doing now that we just finished this one project, we're going to start working on my Patreon account. And I'm going to be putting some good tools in there, financial tools on how men can protect themselves I'm going to put some not legal, but lawful things and stuff of that I've learned from the court system. Just different things I learned that's going to be very beneficial to you guys as you learn to protect yourself. But men, you got to protect yourself. Why do you got to protect yourself? Because the word said so. Go to one more scripture and then I'm going to wrap it up here. Go to Proverbs 31:3. This is right here. This is the stuff they don't teach you. You know, in Christianity, they love to talk about Proverbs 31. Oh, look at the Proverbs 31 woman. And everybody go around telling their wife, that, oh, I have a Proverbs 31 woman. And she's not even doing nothing damn near close to being a Proverbs 31 woman. They say, oh, back in the days, women can't do that anymore. They must have had a lot of women. Yeah, there was a polygyny probably situation going on there. But look what it says, Proverbs 31:3. It says, can you bring that down? Or what do they see? How do they see that? It's way at the top there. Did you see that highlight? It says, give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways that which destroy kings. Guys, this is a true city. A woman can destroy kings. She can destroy kingdoms. This is a lot of the when you hear a lot of empire going down, I bet you it's because of a woman. Did you study that? How much of women? How many times women were behind a lot of those kingdoms going down?
They said that they'd always have women singers that would go and would seduce the men, and then they would be more focused on that than on virtue.
So can you come up and say that?
Yeah,
come up here and say that. I got brother Jordan. He's my historian here. What would you say about the countries going down because of women? What would they do?
When they got to a stage of decadence, there would be women that would be in like the streets, and they would be the ones that would be praised to be like the singers, and so they would sing very, what would you call it?
Dangerous?
Yeah, dangerous music. They'd be loose, and then it would encourage men to pull away from virtues and just be focused more on just sensual things.
So guys, that's and when you got and I want. And a lot of stuff that you really want to know about women is in the Apocrypha. When you read the Apocrypha, man, I see why the Protestant removed that from the Bible. I'm like, I mean, what were we always told about the Apocrypha? These are not inspired word of God.
Right.
But man, it has a lot of truth in there. I mean, it got chapters for days about the wickedness of a woman. I'm talking about in detail, not just kind of like sometimes when you just read what's just in the 66th page, it's a little bit just real quick, you know, maybe that's why they kept it there, hoping that no one will ever read it, right? But when you read the Apocrypha, bro, man, Sirach, man, I mean, we just found one in, what's that one book? Reuben, what is it called? Reuben.
Testament of Reuben.
The Testament of Reuben. Man, talking about how dangerous these women are. So I think Pastor Dow's doing a great job in warning us about the wickedness of a woman. But does that mean men don't do wrong? Man, men do wrong. But women cause a lot of damage. Look what it says, 70%. Guys, I can't make this up. Look at it. It says it right there. Women initiate divorce much more than men. Nearly 70% of divorce is initiated by the women. And they use it as a power move too. A power move to try to control the man. And if the man chooses to try to save his life, guess what he ends up doing? Losing his life. It's right. A snare, a net. He's straight. It's straight to the pit of hell. Women will lead you straight to the pit of hell. Sin came through the women. You will die by them. And if you do what's right in Yah's eye and try to do what's pleasing in His eyes, you can save your life. But it may cost you. And a lot of times, it's going to cost you your family. It's going to cost you your family. So don't love your family so much, because at the end of the day, we all got to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. So if no one has any questions, if I know people are just making comments on here, but if there's no questions, I guess we can close it up. See, look at I did pretty good.
You see any questions about that? Pertaining to the topic?
Pertaining to the topic. No questions? Anybody out there? Tell me, give me did anybody find anything out there about the Bible warning a woman about a man? Have anybody found that? No. Anybody? Okay. Well, next week I want to see if you guys do your research. I want you guys to do your research next week and find me some scriptures. I'm still looking for it, but I'm having a hard time finding it. Okay, somebody has a question. What's your question? A moose as move? Is that his name, or is that person really?
I think that's
Ass move. Okay. So would you take your? Okay. Somebody said okay. Vegan. Somebody said
vegan magic.
Vegan magic. I don't know about the magic. It says, would you take your ex-wife back if she changed her ways? No, I would not take her back. No, I could not take her back. I mean, what she did was very treacherous. I forgive her in the sense of, my own sanity to move on, but I couldn't take her back because a woman to do what she did, that's just in her. I mean, like literally, she's an adulteress. She's an adulterous woman. I mean, I can have a good relationship with her, boom, boom, but to take her back, I cannot. Because think about that. If I took her back, what does that say to my Ishaya, my new Ishaya? Then I'm saying that you can be that wicked, and there's no. Because see, you have to understand, like my Ishaya, my ex-wife, you have to understand the way she grew up. She never got a spanking, never ever got a discipline when she was growing up. She always got bailed out. She never ever experienced consequences for her actions. She can literally do what she wants, and she always got a bailout because maybe she was pretty, maybe because she was the only girl. I don't know, and maybe it's just the Filipino culture. Women in the Filipino culture are trained to go after men of money and to use their beauty. The very thing that the Bible warns. It could easily say, "Be careful of a Filipino woman." Now, I think that's anywhere, but these women literally are raised or reared. I'll say reared, maybe raised, but they're reared literally to take advantage of a man. What she did is exactly what they do in their culture. You can study even there's this movie about this woman named Imelda. She was the president of the Philippines. There's a movie about her. She had a husband who was the president of the Philippines. I truly believe, I don't even have to know it, but I because I've been with a wicked woman, I clearly understand the reason why he died of health issue is because of the wicked woman. Do you know that when that Filipino woman would come to America, right? When the Philippines would have negotiations in America and had to visit her, do you know who came to the White House? Do you think the husband, who's the president, or the woman? He always sent the woman. I'm like, what the heck? Why are you sending the woman? They try to make it sound like I'm too good. I'll send the woman. No, because she wanted to handle that.
No, because she was the one running the
country. She was running the country. And then when he died, guess who became the next president? She did. Marcos is her name. Marcos. Look it up, guys. I'm not making it up.
Marcos had 10,000 pair of shoes.
Yeah, she had 10,000 pairs of shoes. She's still alive. And when you look at and when you watch it, if she's still alive, I bet you she dyes her hair. She's still trying to look like she got a whole bunch of makeup. That is the Filipino culture. And then the boys are raised to be effeminate. And that's what she's doing with my boys. She's raising them to be effeminate.
In the Philippines.
Yeah, and I know I got some Philippines and the Saints in there, so they know they can tell you if I'm making this thing up. But most of the boys in the Philippines are effeminate men, because 80% of that culture is matriarch, big time. There's no doubt. Matter of fact, it's a custom for the woman to keep her mother's maiden name in her name. So whatever she would keep her maiden name along with her husband's name.
Yeah, it's in a lot of countries. Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you about the Philippines. I'm just telling you, Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, but I couldn't take her back. I could not put myself in that situation. She wants to, I can the most I can do for her, because she is still bound to me. I can give her a bill of divorce and allow her to be able to remarry to somebody else, but she's going to have to humble herself and be reconciled. But I could not take her back. I really just couldn't do that. It would be crazy for me to do so. I mean, did you not just look at everything we just read? To take a woman back like that, that's just in her nature. 2 years? You mean you wait 2 years to repent? And even though it's in your face what you're doing wrong, no, I cannot. Okay, sorry. I love myself too much to allow myself to go to be in an oppressive relationship like that. I couldn't do it. Any more questions? But good question. Great question. Now in Christianity, they say, "Oh, take her back, forgive." No, you can't. You don't. No, the Bible says if a woman won't do as you say, then you cut her off from you. And she's a type of woman that don't want to serve. She's not a servant woman. You have to understand, she was very spoiled. She didn't really cook and clean like our women do. She's not like that. She expects to be served. She does not have a servant heart. So because of the type of woman she is, there's not a lot of redeeming qualities of her at all. And she's only getting older, not younger. So just like, what did Michael Jackson say? Let me see what Michael Jackson say. He says, she's no damn good to me. No dick. What did he say? No good. Anyway, she's no damn, like no damn good to me or for me. So anyway, she's not. Yeah, that ship has passed. So I'm not. I mean, when I see her in court, believe it or not, when I see her in court, I don't even see my ex-wife. I just see a woman. I see a demon. I see a literal demon who's trying to kill me, trying to hurt me. And she would do everything in her power to do so. I mean, I've even tried to do stuff aside to see if there's even opportunity to show a woman mercy. And this woman is prideful, just straight up prideful. So, any more questions? Doesn't look like any more questions. All righty. I guess I'll let you wrap up, and then if there's any questions I see in here, then I'll pick it up. So close it out.
All right, sounds good.
See, guys, I was calm here. I didn't get crazy. I just want to show you that, people say with CTE they have these emotional swings or whatever. I was able to kind of keep it paced here. But, guys, I just wanted to really educate you guys. But I'll let you close out, but just wanted to educate you guys.
All right, Saints. As you can see on our screen here, we're going to go through some announcements real quick. So every first day there's a brother segment, usually done by one of our elders or Deacon Bell. Make sure you guys stay up to date. Now, last week they did not have one, or this week, I guess technically, they did not have one. Second day, Monday, we have the KGB Live Show. Every single Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are on here on Brother Kabir's YouTube channel at KGB 94 TV. On Tuesdays, there's not much going on. Wednesday, fourth day, we have the Berean Moment. Every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. And let me I apologize, not every single Wednesday, but at least for the season, until the season is over. But Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have the Berean Moment. Fifth day, Thursday, we have Sister to Sister with Sister Ashley and Sister Jennifer. Make sure you guys participate for that. And then also sixth day, Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have Blog Talk Radio with Pastor Dow. You're able to call Pastor down to the radio station and ask him any questions. And also, just also know that there's a lot of people calling in too, so don't be offended if you are not picked as a caller. So on 7th day, Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, there's Shabbat service live with Pastor Dow here on the website at straightway.com. If you look on here, I think it says right here, straightway.com. There's a live Shabbat service every single Saturday with Pastor Dow. If you're not able to watch it on the browser, you can go to youtube.com//straightway live. Right there, you'll be able to watch it on your phone or on smart TV or whatever have you. So that's pretty much all I have for you. I guess we can make one more announcement later. You want to talk about the...
Yeah. So but somebody said that CT equals can't trust Eileen. That's a good one. That's why I couldn't take her back, because she actually claims I have CTE, so she's right. So
you did. Oh yeah, you do have CTE.
Yeah. So I acknowledge that CTE. I can't trust Eileen. So and she doesn't want to be with somebody that has CTE anyway. So anyway, but that's funny. And somebody did ask a question. How many? I mean, we have more than 10. I mean, it's doubled. I don't know, I think 16, 17, we living on community now, so it's growing. It's literally growing. Our community is growing. So, but guys, hey, so we just finished our project. So tomorrow, what time?
We don't have a time set right now, but
I'm thinking 12. We said 12 maybe?
We did say 12.
12, maybe some of you guys have.
Between 12 and 3.
Between 12 and 3, be on the lookout tomorrow. We just did a investigation report of cults. You guys saw the video, it's a promo video. So it's finished. We was able to take 5 hours. It was 5 hours.
Yeah, it was about
5 hours of video, was able to bring it down to how many minutes?
Between 10 and 15.
10 to 15 minutes. So we took 5 hours and was able to bring it down to 10 to 15 minutes. So anyway, be on the lookout for it. I think it was well done. Brother David did a great job with it. And so be on the lookout for it. And it's perfect.
What inspired you to do the comparison? Though?
What inspired me to do the cult video was just the fact that so many people kept on saying cult, cult, cult. And so I just wanted to know, I wanted to know what does people, I know the definition of cult means culture and cult, I mean, it's totally mean, but how did people perceive the cult? And I just wanted to know. I mean, when you think of cult, there's so many cults out there. So why is it that cults, when it's being thrown out, is supposed to be a negative thing?
Right.
And so automatically when somebody say that Straightway is a cult, well, it is a cult. Well, there's a lot of cults out there. You got the U.S. Army is a cult. You got the Green Bay Packers fans are a cult. You got you got people who are Marvel Comics cult. You got
Super Bowl cults.
Boy Scouts.
You got Boy Scout cults. You got so many different cultures. You got Walmart cults. You got KKK cults. It's so many different cults out there. So Freemason's a cult. You got
Legal Society.
The Legal Society is a cult. They have their own language. That's the worst kind of cult, so that's what I kind of summarized on the thing, but I just wanted to know, cult in itself is not a bad thing. It's just really what the cult revolves around or what their purpose is. There are some cults that are in place to cause destruction or to do evil. That's and then there's some cults that are just for entertainment value. Then there's some cults that are about righteous thing. And so I think our cult, the Straightway cult, is a good cult. I think that's the good kind of cult. Mm-hmm. But there are some cults that cause no harm, but there's some cults that are just straight evil, But so anyway, I just wanted to know. I just really wanted to know, and I just thought it was kind of cool to catch both cults in their environment, in their natural habitat where this is where you see them. And so I was able to, and guys, I don't even like being in the cold like that, but I went in there to try to, really experience what it's like to be a Packer fan. I played for the Packers.
It was so cold that our cameras
was freezing. I know.
Freezing,
and I was in the Packer. I was in the Packers for 9 years, and I never went out among the fans like that.
Are there heaters inside the stadium?
Oh yeah, that means the body heat, and then you got the player. Yeah. So, but I did that just because I wanted to know. So anyway, that's why I did it. So,
hallelujah. Well, Brother Kabir, any closing words?
Any closing words? Let me see. Somebody said. No. Okay, guys. So here's a closing word. So, guys, once again,
maybe just let them know too that. Just let them know, the people who maybe came in late, about you're going to do this as a series.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a series of this guy. So because I want to just kind of just show some of the scriptures that people just may have never thought about. But like I said, it was so cool when I was looking up adulterous woman, and the first thing you think of. Matter of fact, let me just. I'll talk about that next week. But I'm gonna break down adulterous woman. But the first thing you think of is a woman having sex outside of her husband. But there's more definition than adulterous woman. And so I just thought that was very interesting. A woman that is contentious, a woman that cannot acknowledge her own wickedness or her own wrong is an adulterous woman. A woman going around doing shameful things is an adulterous woman. Strange women, I was just really reading it slow, breaking it down. And so if I knew what I knew today, there's no way in Yah's green earth that I would have ever married my ex-wife. I just wouldn't have. It just wouldn't have worked out because she wouldn't have matched up the word. But she was, literally, I just married her because she was a Christian. That's it. She was a Christian. She said all the right things. She seemed like she loved Jesus, but she didn't love Jesus. Never, ever did she ever show love for Jesus. It just seemed like she loved Jesus. And all she really showed me and attracted me to was a religion that was a matriarch, that was all about woman worship. And so that's what I fell into, is a religion that teaches you how to worship women. And so when I think of even though you have a professional football player or ex-football player like Miles McPherson, he looks like, sounds, you'll think he's more manly because he played professional football. But at the end of the day, He's a simp. He's a simp. Go look him up. The Rock Church in San Diego. Miles McPherson. I mean, he's literally a man that played the game of football, and he's a simp. And he's found a way to make a lot of money through fleecing these women and fleecing
making
people.
other simps.
Yeah, making other men into simps. That's what he gets paid to do. He gets paid into making men, encouraging men to give over their strength over to a woman, to trust a woman. And the Bible literally teaches you not to trust a woman. Mm-hmm. And in Christianity, they encourage you to trust a woman, to give your strength over to a woman. See, that's what I tell you. Christianity is all about hating Yah and hating your neighbor. And so, anyway, that's pretty much it. He said all the announcement. Remember, guys, I appreciate you guys' attendance. I appreciate you guys showing up week in and week out with me. And remember to be faithful in the little things. Until next time, shalom, shalom.
It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The truth straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The truth straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way. For this truth, they really hate me. I hit them like a safety. On my way to the mountaintop, ain't no way they gon' stop me. When you live this life, you only get one shot. Time is running out, but you keep looking at the clock. But for me and my household, we're gonna be doers of the word. It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.